Om Swamiji. Our question for today is, what is the study material to be followed in Vedanta?
The term we use for the main study materials is Prasthanatraya, which comprise of the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutra. The Upanishads are the original source of our knowledge. There are hundreds of Upanishads. The subject matter of all the Upanishads is the same, which is inquiry into the nature of myself. So that is the subject matter of the Upanishads. But it's very difficult to directly study the Upanishads without studying the other texts or gaining some basic minimum knowledge. Because the Upanishads are very direct and very abstract. So the study of the Upanishads is always complemented by the study of the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita, we also call it a Yoga Shastra, because in addition to the knowledge of the absolute reality, the Bhagavad Gita also talks in detail about the lifestyle one needs to follow for preparing oneself for this knowledge, the habits one needs to cultivate, the disciplines one needs to follow, and also the value system one needs to have for preparing the mind to assimilate this knowledge. Because without adequate preparation, the knowledge will just be theoretical understanding, and it will not be assimilated, and hence we won't see the benefit of this knowledge in our life. So the Bhagavad Gita, it helps us prepare ourselves for this knowledge. So that is the first text that we use in addition to the Upanishads. And during the process of study, we also study a lot of other texts, primarily written by or attributed to Adi Shankaracharya, that delve in detail or at length into various topics that are dealt with in the Upanishads. And these texts elaborate on those topics so that we get more clarity. Because sometimes the Upanishads assume that the student has adequate background knowledge of some topics. So these texts help us prepare the background for understanding what is said in the Upanishads. And in addition to the texts written by Adi Shankaracharya, we also have other texts written by other renowned acharyas over millennia, like the Panchadashi. The texts of Adi Shankaracharya that we study normally are texts like Viveka Chudamani, Bhaja Govindam, Upadesha Sahasri, Sadhana Panchakam. So all these texts help us gain more clarity about the subject and how we should prepare ourselves for this knowledge. And the texts of other acharyas also, like the Panchadashi, which is a very elaborate text, but a very highly regarded text which help us get a lot of clarity about the subject. So these texts also we study. And at the end of, after studying all of this for a length of time, we also study what we call the Brahma Sutra, which is a Nyaya Grantha or an analytical text. So this is not studied at the early stages, but it is studied at the end of, after going through the other texts for a length of time. So these are the three texts that we primarily focus on as study material. And additionally, because all of them are in Sanskrit, so a serious spiritual aspirant also spends time on getting a good familiarity with the Sanskrit language, so that one can directly connect to the originals. So these are the study material.
Thank you so much, Swamiji.